Similar to Mormonism, you may be somewhat familiar with Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe you've driven by a building that has Kingdom Hall written on it, or maybe you've interacted with some Jehovah's Witnesses at your front door. But when it comes to what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, like how much do we know? And does our lack of knowledge keep us from sharing the gospel, or at least having conversations about the gospel with people who say they're Jehovah's Witnesses? And how much would a general understanding of their beliefs and how those beliefs might deviate from the gospel according to the Bible, how much would that understanding increase the likeliness that we might engage with people who are Jehovah's Witnesses in our everyday lives in conversations about the gospel? The Jehovah's Witnesses began through a man named Charles Taze Russell in 1872, who claimed the Bible could only be understood according to his interpretations. He'd grown up in the church, but he had difficulty with the doctrines of the Trinity and hell, and those struggles largely shaped then and now what Jehovah's Witnesses believe. So in Secret Church 18, we're going to look at what Jehovah's Witnesses believe about God, Scripture, authority, man, Jesus, salvation, judgment, eternity. And then we're going to talk about some really practical suggestions for talking about the gospel with people who are Jehovah's Witnesses based on the Bible and how it relates to what Jehovah's Witnesses believe. The reality is there are many Jehovah's Witnesses in the world today who are doing a lot better job of sharing a false gospel than followers of Christ are of sharing the true gospel. That shouldn't be the case. In a world where the gospel is constantly being distorted, we as followers of Christ must be able to recognize deviations from the gospel when we hear them, and to humbly and clearly and compassionately confront those deviations with the truth of the gospel that has the power to save people from sin in a world where the gospel is constantly being distorted. We as followers of Christ, we must be able to recognize deviations from the gospel when we hear them, and to humbly and clearly and compassionately confront those deviations with the truth of the gospel, because we know that news, the gospel according to the Bible alone, has power to save people from sins, reconcile us to God. There's nothing more important in the world than this.